Alright, so some things to consider before you publish videos online is first whether or not you want your videos to be public or private. When I first started posting my lectures online, I had them all public, and so everybody could see them, students or not. And then I got an email, or I had a comment from somebody who wasn't a student, and they said, I have a question on the autonomic nervous system, can I ask you? And I thought that was great. It was really exciting that somebody else was interested in what I had to say, but then it made me worry about copyright laws. So I realized that I was using these images from my textbook and just assuming that I could do that, and then when I actually looked in the textbook, it was so specific about how you can't even use their images in a technology-based class. So it made me realize that I had to switch and make all my videos private. So right now, if you look at my webpage, it says I have no videos up. And that's because all of my videos are private. I shared them just with my students. So at that point, I had to have all of my students come into my circles, and then I can share my videos with my circles. But now I have to redo everything so that I'm not violating copyright laws. So this semester, I'll be doing all of my own drawings and figures to accompany my PowerPoints instead of using textbook figures. But I figured that would be one other step to help slow me down. If we're drawing pictures, then the students can have time to write and process while we're all drawing it out together. So that's something that you might want to consider. And then you also need to consider your angle or your frame that you are videotaping from. And that can be challenging depending on different class settings. So when we look at my YouTube page in just a second, I'll show you, I've got a couple different perspectives that I videotaped from the class. And some of them are definitely better than others. So just kind of keep those things in the back of your mind before you get started. As far as things you'll need, you're going to need something to record. So you can use a smartphone, you can use a laptop, you can use a video camera. You're also going to need Google accounts if you're going to post to YouTube. So if you have a Gmail account, you can set up a YouTube account through that Gmail account. If you have a Google Plus page, this is the best way to do it, with a Google Plus page. And then you can link that Google Plus page to a YouTube account. So those are all pretty easy to set up. So after you have that set up, the first thing you're going to do is record your class. Then you're going to convert that video format to MP4. Then you're going to upload the MP4 to your computer. Next, you'll edit it, and then you're going to publish it to the web. So I'm going to show you how to do all of those things today using my laptop. So that's why I have this other projector over here. So the laptop is actually a pretty good tool for doing everything, because it's like a one-stop shop, like I said yesterday. So the first 3 steps you can do using Google Hangouts, which I wanted to show you. So you get into your Google page, and actually I've got my Google page for my class is Rockstar AMP. So 16 followers now, 1,500 views. So you come into your Google Plus page, and then you're going to come down to Hangouts. So you select Hangouts from this drop-down menu, and we're going to select, oh, did it work? Then you're going to scroll down, and you're going to do Start a Hangout on Air. So the thing about Hangouts on Air is that they go live. So if you don't want live recording first, then you need to share it with somebody like your husband. So I'm gonna start we'll start our Hangout now. This is our presentation. Tell people what it's about, YouTube. So you can fill all of these things out. We'll say it starts now. The audience. So you can share it if you have another account that you want to share it with. You can do that. I just always share it with my husband, and he never watches them. And then we'll share. So I've got notes going up over here. So you enter the details about your Hangout, select the audience with whom to share your Hangout, and then when you select Start, it's going to be pretty quick, and then you're going live. So this can be where the editing comes in handy to cut out things like...
Excuse me, Janessa, are we supposed to take notes, or do you have a handout for this?
I'm going to publish it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So you can see it all on YouTube later. If you want, I can also see about putting the PowerPoint up on the internet or through D2L. Ah! Do this. Okay. So this can be nerve-wracking in class if you're doing a Google Hangout and starting it, and then you gotta like walk away, and then your students will walk in front of your camera. That's why I kind of recommend not sharing it live with everyone at first, so that you can edit all of that stuff out later. It'll also then ask you if you want to share with anybody else. So I always say no. So what's gonna happen after it loads is it's gonna give us this option to start our broadcast. This is my nice, lovely model for my AMP class. So as soon as you click OK to go live, it's going to start recording, and that can feel kind of stressful in class. So go live. Oh, and now it says my Hangout's live on air, but I can't see me. Usually I can see what's going on. So in theory, it's recording this right now. I don't know why it doesn't have an image of me up here right now.
Is it recording it from your webcam?
It's supposed to be recording it from my webcam. My webcam's up too. All right, in general, you'll see a picture of yourself. And as it's recording. So you can either end your call.
Is blocked out, so the video
Is what is blocked out? This.
Yeah.
Nope. Now we just turned it off. So we'll just assume this is recording somewhere in the background. In general, you shouldn't have problems like this, but when you're done recording, you hit stop broadcast, and I'll show you how to edit using one of my other videos that I've done on Google Hangouts. So after you record your Google Hangout, you stop broadcast, end your recording, and then it automatically appears on your Google Plus page. So this is my G Plus page, and it's got this, I guess we could watch it, see if it worked. No, it didn't. Does it even have my voice? Hangouts live on air, but I can't. Okay, yeah, so I don't know what is wrong with my camera. Apologies about that. So it at least recorded my voice. You should see yourself. So that will, when you're looking in class, or maybe, take a couple minutes before class and make sure that it's all working. And then after a couple minutes, it'll post this to your YouTube page. So we can go to YouTube over here. So it takes just a little bit for your Hangout to show up. I'm not going to edit that Hangout though, so I'll take you to some other Hangout that I've done. So here are all of my videos. So I actually have quite a few videos that I've posted from this semester. And to edit your videos, what you're going to do is you're going to select this Creator Studio. So if you see over here by my icon, then we can get this drop-down menu and enter our Creator Studio, and that will bring up all the videos, all of the 26 videos that I have. I'll go ahead and edit one of these other ones. So for editing in Google Hangout or in YouTube, you just click your edit button, and it's going to upload your video. So what you can do is then you click enhancements. I don't want it to start playing my video, but so you can see here I am starting my Hangout, walking away. These are all things that I would want to take out of the video. So you can trim. I don't like Hangouts as much for editing as I do Microsoft Movie Maker. Microsoft Movie Maker is a little easier. We'll look at that in just a minute. But if all you have is Google Hangouts, then this is what you have. So this split tool is going to split the video at the specific parts that you want it to stop at. And then you can cut out the pieces that you don't like. So we can split it there, and then I can delete that part. And then we can move through and see if there are other parts. Sometimes I'll stutter on a word in class, and I never want that in the video, so I'll clip those things out as well. So, or sometimes you'll say the wrong word. I mean, we've all had these experiences where you just accidentally say the wrong thing. And so then you can correct that, and then you can take all of it out of the video so that your video doesn't include any of that. So you just have to go to the part in the video about where you think that is. You can play, do your split, and then let it continue playing. This would be another example of a time where you can split out information when you're just writing and things. You can split out those times. Do split again, and then I can delete that. So it's actually pretty easy to just clip out little sections of your video, and then if you don't like the way that if you did something wrong or you didn't clip in the right place, then you can revert to your original, or you can, when you're happy, then you can save it, or you can save it as a new video altogether. So, are there any questions on the basics of editing in Google Hangouts?
How long would it usually take you to do, say, an hour's worth of video?
In editing?
Yeah.
Maybe 20 minutes. I mean, sometimes it can take a little longer depending, because you'll hit the split tool at just the wrong moment. So, or just a second too late or something like that. So, it can take a bit, but it goes definitely faster the more you do it. So, after you've had some practice, it gets a little easier.
Do you always watch the whole video then yourself or not?
I don't watch the whole video because I can kind of already tell what I want to clip out. So I fast forward, for example, here, let's start again. So when I start writing in things, I will clip out like the longer parts of writing a definition. So let me see if I can find it. Oop, maybe. So, sorry. And wait. So if you have kind of an idea which parts of your class already you want to get rid of, it can be pretty easy to find in the video. So you don't have to watch the whole video. I would never want to watch the whole video. You can kind of just fast forward through it. And I always have a general feel, when I make a mistake in class, I know it immediately. So I already am thinking about clipping that out and getting home and editing it. So another reason, I like using my video camera better than Hangouts, because I don't even want my husband to see my mess ups. So he doesn't watch me anyway. But that's how to use Google Hangouts. Are there any other questions?
Yeah, so I may have missed this. Google automatically saves your Hangouts, is that right?
Yeah.
Right, and then it looks like it uploaded pretty directly to YouTube. Will it do that to other applications as well, or is it pretty much only YouTube?
I think that Google owns YouTube now, so
Yeah.
I think that it's pretty much only synced up with that. Then what I always do is I take my video off my G+ page. I don't want my videos on my G+ page. It's just for YouTube. It's just for my students to go to that channel and look at. So I always try and delete the video on the Google+ page so that the only place that it's linked up to is YouTube. Any other questions on the G+ or Google Hangouts or that part so far? Okay, so then if you have a smartphone or a video camera instead, like I said, I prefer to use my video camera. So I tape all my classes on this. It comes onto a little SD card. In my camera, I've got it converted to an MP4. So your specific device will have different settings that will show you how to do that. Some smartphones automatically record in the MP4 format. So after you've recorded your lecture and converted it to MP4, then you can upload it very easily to your YouTube account. So what you do there then is you say upload, and we're going to leave that page. So, and you can select your files to upload. So you just have to, wherever you've got it saved, then we can look, and I'll do a muscle video. So it'll upload your video, and then you can publish it, and then you can edit it. I'm not going to wait for this to upload to edit it, because that'll just take too long, and I'd rather show you how to use Microsoft Movie Maker. So we're at this step 4, our editing, and you can do that in YouTube after you've uploaded it, or we can use Microsoft Movie Maker. If you own the Microsoft Office suite, then you get Microsoft Movie Maker. You may have to, you may not have purchased it on your original disc or whatever, but you can download it from the Microsoft site. So you don't have to pay any extra for this, and I think it's a pretty handy tool for editing your videos. So let's look at that. What I like about Movie Maker is it shows you your whole video on this screen you'll see here to the right. And what's nice about it is that it's got, and usually when it's fully uploaded, it has verbal, you can see the sound on the bottom, so you can tell when your sound is coming in. I don't know why it's not showing up right now, but that can help a lot of times when you're editing to also know parts that you can cut. If you're not speaking and there's nothing going on, then you can cut that part. So in our Microsoft Movie Maker then, I don't know what is going on with my volume.
Oh, there's the sound.
Oh, what about what?
I said there's the sound.
Yeah, okay, yes. So you can see, and actually I don't have volume because it's this projector. So I can tell when I'm not talking or when there are dips in activity, and so that can help as like a visual cue for where to clip at certain points. So for Microsoft Movie Maker to edit, you've got this edit tool, and again, we've got this split tool. So I'm going to start again, and what you can do if you start from the beginning, you set your start point. As soon as you feel like you're happy, like right now I'm going to start talking. And so that sets your start point. And then you continue playing. And let's say I want to clip out right there. Then I do split, and it splits the video there. Then I keep playing, and I'll split it right there. And now I can delete that part that I don't want. So you just remove the little pieces that you don't want, and it makes it pretty easy to get rid of little mess-ups in class, or all of my PowerPoint questions that I don't want everybody to have, or my practice questions. So it's pretty easy to use. Other things that are nice in this is that you can, if you want, you can add photos or videos later. You can add music backgrounds if you want. As far as visual effects go, I've never used any of those. I'm pretty basic with it. As I said, I'm stuck in the Stone Age, and I'm only doing this really to try and help my students get over my fast pace. I don't know what else to do for them as far as that goes. So after you're all satisfied with your video then in Microsoft Movie Maker, what you do is you save your movie, and I always just save it as the recommended settings for the project, and then you give it some new name. And then it'll save your movie format, and now you can upload that. It's ready to go and edited, and you can upload that right to YouTube. So you can publish it directly to YouTube from Movie Maker. If you're editing in YouTube, you just publish it directly. You've already published it, and you use their editing software. Otherwise, after you've saved your movie, then you can upload it from Movie Maker. Did you have another question?
Yeah. How are you able to, so say you messed up a really important part of your class, how do you then embed a correction or embed another snippet of a different video?
Then you would record a separate video, and that's when I don't know how to do it in YouTube, but in Microsoft Movie Maker, so if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to combine, I've got axial muscles and axial muscles part 2. Let's say I wanted to combine those videos. Then first I would open axial muscles in Movie Maker, and then I would open axial muscles part 2, and it actually opens up right behind it. So as far as embedding it in, I think then that we'd have to select the whole, like if I wanted to put it in the middle of a presentation, then you select your new video that just added it and move it back. So I'm not the biggest expert. I'm like very technologically illiterate. So that's what I'm saying. If I can do this, anybody can do this. So there are definitely other ways that you can make your movies better and other things like that. But I just wanted to get the basics so that I could get my lectures online for my students to review later. And they found it very, very helpful. I had so much student feedback saying that they were so glad that I posted my lectures, and it really helped increase their understanding. And as I said, I had more A's this semester in those small classes than I usually get. I usually get 2 to 3 A's, but I had you know, a third of one of my classes had A's this time. And I don't know if it's the A students who go back and watch the videos, or if going back and watching the videos helps them get A's, you know? It's always one of those things, like, the best students are always willing to do a little more generally anyway, so how can we really reach out to our other students and make sure that they're using this as well? And I'm not quite sure on that. Other questions?
Your lectures are recorded. Do you still lecture in class?
Yes, I'm recording in class. So, and then I'm posting their lecture again later. And I've had students say, I didn't even hear that the first time around. Like, it didn't even click. That didn't even make sense. Did you say that? Like, well, yeah, I said it and you saw it on YouTube. So I'm recording in class, and they're just getting back exactly what they see. In the future, after I have my repertoire of non-copyright violating videos, I might try and flip some classes and say, no, I want you to watch this video online at home, and you're going to come to class having all of that information in your back pocket, and we're going to do an activity today. So that's the point I hope to get to. Other questions?
When you say you clip out the students, does that include voices, like if they ask questions?
Yes, if they ask questions, I clip that out as well. Oh, so I did want to show you that on my YouTube page. Some different things to consider as far as video angles and things go. When I first started recording my lectures, I stuck this camera at the back of the room. I didn't want it in front of anybody. I didn't want to bother anybody. So I stuck the video camera at the back of the room, and then you can see, let's see, so this is what the videos looked like. It was far away. I mean, this maybe I wouldn't be, like my copyright violation wouldn't necessarily be a problem because you can't see the pictures really from that far away. So that's one thing to consider, but you also can't see the pictures from that far away. You can't see what I'm writing, so it's not really helpful. And in this case, the students had to be okay with this because they're all being videotaped. None of them had a problem with it. This was all for them, but I kind of realized that I don't like that view. So then I tried.
But when you did that, did you have all of them sign the official release?
I did not, which was a fault of my own. So I should have, definitely should have had them sign the official release. But no, I didn't. So I'm flubbing up all over the place, violating copyright laws, violating privacy laws. It's awful. But now I've learned, and you can all learn from my mistakes, and it'll be better from now on. This was when I started using Google Hangouts, or the first time I tried to use Google Hangouts to videotape my lecture. And I had it just in front of this desk, and yes, that's a Mickey Mouse hat. I had it in front of this desk in front of my students, and kind of tipping back. I didn't like the glare. It's a little bit better of a view, but I also didn't like Google Hangouts. I don't like that they're advertising. I feel like on my page, I feel like Google's taking over the world. They don't need to take over my lecture. So I don't want to use Google Hangouts really anymore. I mean, if it's your only option, it's a great option. It's got everything you need. It's really easy. But so I stopped using Google Hangouts and started using my video camera in a different way. So I would put I have a little tiny tripod that I would set up just on the desk in front of my smartboard. And this I feel like was the most effective viewpoint because they could see the smartboard, they could see the board that I was writing on, so they could get all of their definitions and everything. But now this is when I'm definitely in violation of copyright laws because these images are protected. And you can see these images now in great detail. So definitely a problem, and I don't want to get sued, so that's why all my videos are private now. I do want to tell you about it. There's this software if you want to. I've heard that Screencast-O-Matic is useful, but unless you pay for it, it limits you to 15 minutes. This Open Broadcaster software is freeware that anybody can use, and it doesn't limit your time. So I guess I'll go ahead and show you it really quickly. So Open Broadcaster software is really nice because then you can use it to create your screencasts, and you don't have to worry about a time limit. So in this Open Broadcaster software, I'll just kind of quickly show you what you have to do. You've got to choose what sources you're going to use. So I'm where we're going to draw the information from. So this desktop replacement system is my laptop's name, and that's what's looking at me through this video camera. This window capture is going to look at my PowerPoint presentation over here. So you can add other things. If you wanted to add a video, you could put a video in here. You could do, if you had another monitor, you could put another monitor in here. So you just have to tell it what your source is, and then you have to tell it where to look using that source. So, for example, in my PowerPoint here, I'm going to select a sub-region that I want it to look at. So when I'm doing my presentation, I only want it to look at this part that I've got my PowerPoint posted in. And because of the weird dimensions this projector is causing, it's going to be a little weird. So you select this sub-region that you want it to show. Well, that'll be good enough. And what it will do, you can start your preview. And now I can edit this scene, so I can make this bigger. And I'm small enough over there. And now I can click through. When you're doing it, if you're doing it on a laptop, it's kind of weird to navigate this so that you can see both your PowerPoint and the Open Broadcaster software. If you want to be able to see both on one page, you have to shrink it. What you're recording will only be what you see here. So when you record, this is all that would be recording. I don't know what this glitch is here, but you would just see my PowerPoint and this videotaping. So I'll go ahead and stop preview, and I'll start recording. And then you can come back and advance through your PowerPoint. So right now it's recording me. So how to create a screencast. Download Open Broadcaster software, open the program, open all the programs you want to include, select your sources, specify the subregion. Now, I always start by previewing the stream to make sure everything looks like I wanted it to look like. If we had more time, you can adjust, I would show you how to adjust the sizes and things, but I just kind of wanted to give you a really quick introduction. And then, after you have that, you start your recording. When you're done recording, after you're done with all your lecture, you go through your PowerPoint, click stop recording, you'll come and you'll save this, and then if you open the recordings folder, it's going to save it somewhere automatically to wherever your computer saves your videos. So now I can look and find my video, and I can move it, and I can give it a new name, and now this video I can post right onto YouTube, and it's my screencast. It's got my PowerPoint, it's got what I have to say, and this can be really nice for questions afterwards, or if there's something you'd like to flesh out more, like if you just don't have enough time in class to cover a system, but you'd like to talk about it, or maybe talk about disorders or something like that, then you can use this as a tool to kind of just be a complement to your lecture and add more information. Alright, so that was a quick introduction to screencasting. Do you have any questions on that? Again, I will post this video on Rockstar A&P if you want to watch it. I will edit it this evening or tomorrow and get it up for you so you can watch it, and hopefully it was helpful. Are there any other questions on anything? Mm-hmm.
Do you have a preference among Screencast and the Microsoft and Google and...
My preference is to videotape and use Microsoft Movie Maker. It's just really, it's easy, it's straightforward, that program's really easy to use. But as far as creating a screencast, I haven't done this in class before, but I think that I will probably from now on, because it's really a nice way to add more. And so go through the PowerPoint, but also have my face there. So screencasting is just kind of, I think I would use it for different applications. As far as recording and posting lectures goes, I definitely am a fan of Movie Maker. Mm-hmm.
So just a comment. So us being part of Front Range, we actually have access to get the Microsoft Office for personal use. I think it's only like $10.
Nice.
That's for everyone.
That's
and
awesome.
So if you do want this Movie Maker and you don't have it at home already, there are mechanisms in which you can get that.
Did you have a question?
That's the whole Office suite. That's like everything.
Correct.
It's the big, big Office suite. It's
Yes.
not just Word and Excel.
Correct.
I think it's $10. What is it?
It seems like editing out every time a student asks a
It's
question
not even-
would be very painful.
My students don't ask lots of questions. I mean, I wish I could get them to ask questions, but you're right. If you have a really talkative and engaged class, you would probably want to just get them to sign the permission forms.
Okay.
And if they're getting something out of it, I don't know why they wouldn't.
I mean, or have you heard of, or is there a way that there's a microphone that would be specifically on you that would then prevent picking up the student voices?
That is a good question. I've not heard of that. I'm sure they make something like that, but I just don't know about
Yeah,
it.
otherwise it sounds like it could be excruciatingly painful.
It could be. And
every
you know,
time a student talks.
and sometimes student questions can be really good discussion points, so it might not necessarily be something that you want to exclude. So by doing it that way, then you could include your answer, maybe repeat the question and include your answer, but you're still not violating the student's privacy. That's a good thing to consider.
I know if the students want to audio or videotape the class, they need your permission, but the other students only need to be informed. They do not have, you don't have to get permission. But I don't know, can we do it if it's got, if there's different rules?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
Can you talk a little bit globally about, the D2L, how you got them directed to your YouTube channel? More like how do we introduce this in our classroom?
Sure, yeah, I just explained, it was like 5 classes in when I decided to start videotaping, and so I just said, I know that I speak very quickly, and I know that some of you are struggling with that, so I'm going to start posting my lectures to YouTube. I'm letting you all know this is being videotaped right now. This is the channel that you can go subscribe to and watch my videos. You don't have to, at first you didn't have to subscribe, or you didn't have to be part of my circle because I was doing it public. And then after it was private, then I actually had to get permission from them to add them to my circle. So that could be a way to do it. Just say, if you want to be included in my YouTube channel and watch these videos, then I'm going to hand around this sheet, give me your Gmail information, and then add them to your circles that way.
So they have to have a Gmail
But they have to have a
account.
Gmail account.
It has to be Gmail to get to be in your circle, yep. And so I had 2 students who didn't have Gmail, and they had no problem just making a fake Gmail so that they could watch my videos.
And then they give that to you.
But
Yeah, and then I add them.
Add them to
But-
your circle.
And then anybody who's in my circles can watch my private videos because I've shared them with just my circles.
But you can also just post that URL on your D2L site, and then you don't have to do that?
Yeah,
You don't have to give
you
that?
can. I don't know all the details of that though, because I just figured chums watch my videos.
The questions I have is, if you have everybody going up and getting Gmails, right, so they can be in your circle for your videos, how do you keep them from interacting with you in Gmail? Because that's outside the system. and they
That's a
can't do
great
that.
question. So my Rockstar AMP page, so my normal page that is me is this Jaylyn J page. But that's not what my students see. So my students have no access to that. What they see is my Rockstar AMP page, which is linked under this. So now you can see all of my different things here. All they see is this. They don't actually see my personal Gmail information, and they don't get any of that, anything else. So that they're only associated with this, and then I don't answer, I mean, I would do discussion questions and things, but I wouldn't do, like, if you had a question, I may be willing to post an answer, but I wouldn't do anything really deep and involved on G+. Wait. So, like, for example, when I had that stranger ask me a question, they just posted a comment to my YouTube page, and you can just respond right there on the YouTube page. But as far as answering any, like, class-specific questions or grade-specific questions, I would not do that at all. It would more just be, like, informational. Oh, I watched
So once you have the video up, you're allowing them to interact with you under the video?
If I have to approve all comments, but yeah, you can select that. So in your Gmail page, or in your YouTube page, when you're posting your videos, you can select all of your preferences for things like that. So you can say, I want my videos to be private, I want my videos to be public. You can say,
I want people to be able to reply.
I want them to be able to make comments, but I want to see them first, only approved comments, things like that. So nothing goes up onto my page that I haven't said can be there. Good question. Any other questions?
Does Front Range provide access to video cameras for us?
That's a question for ID, for the,
Yes.
I believe that they do. You have to sign them out and all of that. And you can actually get a laptop from Front Range as well, if you wanted to just use the laptop to do the Google Hangouts. They would provide that as well. Any other questions? Do I have to edit all of the questions out before I post this on YouTube? Is anybody opposed to me posting this on YouTube with your question? Okay. Any other questions for me? My students really responded well to this. And they told me after that they were even writing about it in my teacher evals, that YouTube was something that really helped them. And I mean, anatomy and physiology is a complicated class, so I can see this really being helpful to my students because they can go back through and review some hard topics. All right, anything else? Well, thank you all for coming.